I mean, if you have eyes to see and look around, the world's full of suffering, right? I mean, the rule is not just blessing forever with no hiccups. The rule is heartache, trial, difficulty, suffering, challenges, heartbreak, hardship, with what it feels like kind of windows of blessing. And what I'm saying is to follow Jesus is to experience gut-wrenching, productive suffering. In other words, a joyful ministry. Mystery. Let me just get super real with you. We've been doing City Group for 16 years, okay? City Group, and not really in the last couple months because we've all been so busy and sick and so, but that's another story. But by and large, for the last 16 years, we've met almost every week or multiple times a week with a group of people, and here's the honest truth. It doesn't always go well. In the last 16 years, I can point to stories and names of people that you invest in, you sow into, you serve, you pray for, you show up in their darkest hour of need, you give up time with family, you give up time, like you were investing, and then boom, off the rails, betrayal, backstab, sin, addiction, and gone. Like never see again, never hear from again, shipwreck their faith. In my city group, a pastor, that's discouraging. Not because I care about my city group record or anything, but it's just like we love those people. Haven't seen them for 15 years. We love those people. Haven't seen them for 13 years, except to watch their life burn and smolder up on the hill where they crashed it and they don't want any help. Like that happens, and so you're like, well, I got to stay humble. I got to stay close to Jesus, and I got to stay walking in the light because I thought their story might be a parable of redemption. Turns out it's a parable of warning to me that I could go there if I got off path. So you're like, this is discouraging, and it feels like suffering, and now they're out saying horrible things about my family because they've been in our home, and now they have credibility, but they're lying, and like, this is wild. Happens all the time. What are your options? Give up, roll over, spend the next 20 years of your life defending yourself, or trust Jesus and keep going. And here's the crazy thing. Though it feels like, this is undue suffering, I look back, almost every one of our legacy team, ESAP members, or staff members have at one point come through my city group. And some of them, when they started coming to city group, were deeply, deeply broken. And now they're some of the godliest men and women I know. And it's so hardship and fruit. That's the life of following Jesus. I say that to encourage you. If you're a little discouraged or you've been trying hard and not putting many points on the board, welcome to the life of Paul. Welcome to the life of the Christian. Following Jesus is to experience gut-wrenching, productive suffering, meaning when Paul talked about suffering, he said, hey, 1 Corinthians 15:58, just remember, be steadfast in good works. Always be found building the kingdom, because remember, nothing done in Jesus' name is wasted. That's the Christian's hope. Which means when it comes to whether it's investing for me with my money or running a business with some buddies or investing in people in my city group, I'm like, this goes under the Jesus rubric, then I can take a breath of fresh. I know, if he wants it to flourish, it will. If not, that's his thing, but it's not my thing, it's his. Take every element of your life, friend, put it under the rubric of Jesus, and watch the tension just drain from your heart. Okay. This savings account is Jesus' savings account. He wants it to grow, thanks be to God. Doesn't want it to grow, thanks be to God. But it's his either way, and we're going to figure out how to leverage it. My time, my health, name it. My kids. You give your family to Jesus, all of a sudden you can step back, allow them to differentiate, not try to control the outcome, and your life becomes one of peace, not of stress. Third exercise of following Jesus is to know the thrill of progress and constant headwind. A little different way to say the same thing and point to, I get it. But for me, there's enough of a difference to nuance it. In other words, we are victorious losers. Now, I got to be careful when I say that because we're not losers, we're victors. And there is this kind of strain of like loser theology in Christianity right now that's just like needs to be spoken to, called out, and kind of mocked a bit because like they just can never get a win. You know what I mean? It's like we just had a marvelous, unmerited, supernatural mercy poured out on our nation. And then Trump stands up this week and holds the Bible and says, we need more religion in this country. And they're like, oh, he pronounced the book of the Bible wrong. I'm like, dear Lord. I mean, like, can we agree that having a president who doesn't hate us and make war on us is a win that we can celebrate and thank the Lord for? It's just mind-boggling. Is he the Apostle Paul? No. We don't need him to be. We just need him to cut taxes and rein in the federal government, and I'll be happy. But it's like here's the deal. It's like if we can celebrate wins in our nation and call out compromise when it's there. We can chew gum and walk at the same time. And though we will experience exceptional loss in our personal lives, we are ultimately victors. But it'll look more like losers here while we're on earth, probably. You do realize all the heroes that we read in the Bible, most all of them had their life forcibly taken from them. That looks like losing in the short term, doesn't it? Hey everybody, Pastor Josh here. If you enjoyed that clip, you can check out the full sermon right here.